Let's get even stronger and healthier now. Let's do this together, and so it is. Welcome, everyone. This is the Hour to Empower. We're here to help you live your best version and your best life every day. So my name is Jessica Fernandez-Cruz. I'm a life and executive coach. And if you're liking the show and you're trying to start the year with new energy, you want to do something else and you cannot find the way to do it, you feel stuck, estás atrapado, contact me. I'll be happy to be your coach and help you out. In only 6 sessions, we can find a way to make it all work and feel great. Contact me. You'll find me on my website, yfernandezcruz.com, yfernandezcruz.com. And if you want to see more things about coaching, about feeling good, little tricks and tips that I give you that have to do with longevity and entrepreneurship and keeping our mind focused in what we need, go to my Instagram account, @energia, salud y vida, @energia, salud y vida. Hey, you want to follow the Hour to Empower on Facebook? Yes, we have a Facebook page. Just go to the Hour to Empower, like our page, follow us, and give us your feedback. Tell us what it is that you feel a little stuck with. What are you trying to improve in your life that is not really working? Because I'll be happy to use that as the topic of our next show. This show is for you, my friend. This is why we're doing it. So please follow us on Facebook, The Hour to Empower, and we'll help you with that. Ask us any questions, anything you are worried about. So let's start today. I always like to start with this question. How are you feeling right now? Can you take a deep breath for me? Hold it, and now exhale quietly. Nice. Can we do that one more time? Connect with our little relaxed moment. Take a deep breath in. Hold it, and exhale. Let it all out. How are you feeling? What's going on today? What are you thinking about? What's that recurrent thought in your head? Is there any? Well, let's let that go. Let's use this deep breath and relax. This is our time to talk about things that are for our own good. This is our time to be here together, trying to figure out ways of being happier, healthier, stronger, feeling better. But the most important thing is that all of the stuff that we talk about in this show is for you to find ways of disconnecting from that negativity and connecting with your energy, with your happiness of being alive, that I'm here and this is awesome. This is simply awesome. So sit there and for a while, disconnect your thoughts and enjoy today's show. Now, can I ask you to play a song that I think will sound great at this moment and will get us in the mood? I want to listen to I Feel Good by James Brown. Ooh, that felt good, didn't it? I feel good. It's awesome. That song, every time I listen to it, doesn't matter how angry, tired, or whatever negative feeling I have in my head, it just cheers me up. Because it's true. And I like to listen to this song only because it tells me something that sometimes we forget. I'm alive. I'm here and I feel good. I'm healthy. And if I have that, guys, seriously, this is already the starting point to say, thank you. I am so grateful that I'm alive and I'm healthy and I feel good. So today's show is a little bit of food for thought. Food for thought. What is that? For those of you that are practicing your English, do you know this expression? Food for thought? Comida para pensar? No, we don't use that expression literally in Spanish. Food for thought, but it's for you to think about the different options, about what exists, and to make some decisions around it. So food for thought is normally used when I'm going to give you some interesting information for you to think. See, when we talk about, I've been having many meetings related to the field of longevity and healthcare. Most of you know this already, but if you're a new listener, you're probably hearing this for the first time. But for many years, I've been involved in the longevity industry, biotechnology, and healthcare. My family, my father specifically, has a foundation that's called the Fernandez-Cruz Foundation, and it is focused on preventing chronic diseases. It's focused on age-related diseases. It is about preventing cardiovascular disease, cancer disease, neurodegenerative diseases. I have to say that word quickly. Neurodegenerative diseases, degenerative diseases, enfermedades neurodegenerativas, like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, and so on. So what the foundation really does is to try to bring the most updated information in this field to educate all the people in healthcare in Spain, mainly physicians, doctors, and key elements of the healthcare system in Spain. So this is why I tend to always be up to date with the information that has to do with this field. But not only that, I've always been very involved from the biotechnology side in what's going on in the longevity and sometimes even immortality conversation. And therefore, I'm very aware of the different industries out there that are focused on this and how they all work separately and sometimes together. And I thought, talking to one of my good friends and one of the most powerful entrepreneurs and investor in the field of longevity right now, my friend Sergio Alba, who's from Mexico, he and I were talking about how interesting it is that when you're sitting at a table with a group of friends or even in a work lunch, and people know that this is a field that you're involved in and you know a lot of, start asking you questions quickly. So what do I need to do to stop my aging? Is there a way? But what do you do to understand your biological age? And is that really true? And all these questions come up. You start talking about this, and I start talking about it. And the reality is, at the end of the dinner, you realize that you've done most of the talking. And this is not because I'm such an interesting person, but because the subject is of interest to these people. Why is it that this is such a sexy subject? Really, because it has to do with maintaining our health. And maintaining our health, therefore, has to do with keeping our energy and feeling good. The moment that our health declines, cuando se empeora nuestra salud, the moment that our health declines, we start having limitations. The quality of our life goes down. And this is why I thought, being in January, and January is always the New Year's resolution month, right? So when 2019 finished, you sat with yourself and you said, what am I going to do differently in 2020? What do I want 2020 to look like? And you probably decided that you're going to start going to the gym. Am I right? The gym rush. This is called the January gym rush. Can you believe it? There's even a word for it. The January gym rush. And see, the funny thing is that people who normally or regularly go to the gym hate the January gym rush because, they normally go to their gym, they have their machines that they use, or there's classes that they like to go to, and then suddenly they see themselves and they have no time, they have no space to do their exercises because the gym is full. But see, unfortunately, that gym rush in January only lasts a couple of months. By March, most of the people are gone again. And this is what I want to bring out today, is this concept of self-care. And it's interesting when we think of self-care. When you ask someone, let me ask you this. Do you take care of yourself? Would you say that you're a person that takes care of yourself? Well, see, the thing is, most of the people say, oh, yes, I take care of myself. And I will say, but do you really? And now comes the real question. In what ways do you take care of yourself? That's where the tricky parts begin. Let's first answer, what is self-care? Now, self-care is an activity that we do deliberately. That means that we choose to do it. And this is very important because you don't become continuous with a routine if it's not a personal choice. If it feels like an obligation, eventually, which is what happens with this January rush. You feel obliged to go to the gym. It's not really a deliberate choice that you do. So self-care is an activity that you do deliberately to take care of your mental, emotional, and physical health. Mental, emotional, physical health. This is why I'm such a huge fan of having a coach. Because a coach is the one that's going to help you out in figuring out which part of this is not really doing great in your life. Why are you not taking care of your mental or emotional health, and you're very good at taking care of your physical health, or otherwise very good at taking care of your mental and emotional health, but you don't take care at all of your physical health? See, this is a package. It goes together. Self-care has mental, emotional, and physical components. And what do you do? In which area are you really good at? And which one needs some improvement right now? Self-care is something that refuels us rather than takes from us. It doesn't take away from you. It gives you something. So whatever it is that you do for your self-care, it has to feel good. It has to feel energizing. It's not something that you do that you don't enjoy. Okay, maybe when you start, you need to learn how it works, but on the long term, you really enjoy it. You enjoy loving yourself in the end, right? So that's the ultimate goal, is that you take care of yourself because you love yourself. And by understanding this, then you will never say that taking care of yourself is selfish, or that you're putting yourself before others and that's not good. No. See, that's where it all starts wrong. But that is only if you don't love yourself enough. See, one of the things, unfortunately, that we identify very much in people is two things: that people don't realize how much they matter, and they tell themselves that they're not enough. If I'm telling myself I don't matter, I am not enough, why would I want to take care of me? Why would I want to take care of my mental, emotional, and physical health? So if this is the case, if this is still, when I say this, you say, actually, that's what I tell myself, that I am not enough. This is the first thing to work on. Because once you understand that you are enough, and once you understand that you matter, that the best thing that you can do for others is you yourself feel great, be good to yourself, because then you'll be that for others. See, when people, I don't know if this is because I'm a coach and I have like a deformation to understand these things in others, but when people are insecure and they're telling themselves like the wrong story, that they're not enough, that they're not worth loving, so on and so forth, what is it that you see? Well, you see a standoffish person, una persona como que se quita de en medio, ¿no? Que no es cercana, a standoffish person. You see a person who's very quiet and normally will not look at the other person in the eye, so they will tend to look down. And they will say, I'm sorry forever, all the time. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't do this. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't. So I'm sorry is also a word. If you say it a lot, try saying something else. One of the words that works is thank you. Instead of sorry that I made you wait, thank you for waiting for me. Sorry that I couldn't finish this on time is thank you for your patience. I will make sure to have this ready for you. There's a difference there that makes you own the situation. When you say I'm sorry, means I'm so little that, it's okay that you're angry. That's not a healthy conversation with yourself. So this is the first thing to tackle. If you want to enter the self-care world, the first step is to understand that you are enough and you matter. See, the difference between that person that I was just describing who came in and was with their head down and saying all these soft words, you can hardly hear them. See, that person gives you the impression that there's something wrong, and it makes the other person uncomfortable because I don't know how to respond if you're talking so low. And see, now we're all like uncomfortable here. Versus the person who knows that they matter, who knows that they're enough. They walk in the room and they say hi. They look at you in the eye, and you know what they do? They are vulnerable. They'll tell you the truth. Wow, I have no clue of what we're talking about. Can you repeat that again, please? And that person owns their position. They own where they are, and they understand that they are not perfect, but they also express it. And they don't tell themselves, oh, I didn't know this question, so that means I'm not enough. See, that's the difference. So I'm not going to talk about that today. I probably will do another show on that if this is something that you feel you're connected with. Let me know on Facebook. Tell me how you feel about this I am not enough concept. Have you ever told yourself this? Are you telling yourself this today? So let's take it that phase is not where you stand, but you stand already in a phase where you know you're enough. You know you matter. You want to feel good. You want to have the energy. You want to be happy. Let's play that again. I feel good, James Brown. Please, Nacho, give me that again, because we're going to get the energy now. Okay, let's feel good. So now that we're feeling so good, let's talk about the real stuff. So you're ready. You're feeling good. You want to be even better. You know you have to take care of your health. And here's what happens. This was my conversation with my friend Sergio. See, Sergio, when he was, I think, like 49, this super businessman, he has had businesses in the car industry, in transportation industry, in the food industry, agriculture, okay? So picture this very successful entrepreneur who's doing very good, but when you see him, and I'm sure you will relate to this because there are many of those profiles in the business world, people who work a lot, who do a lot of business when they go out for lunch or they go for drinks. And what happens is they put on a lot of weight. They have a pretty sedentary life. They hardly sleep. They're not really health conscious, so they're not careful about what they eat. They eat a lot, and they will drink a lot as well. So all of that together is like the life bomb. How to kill yourself as soon as possible. Have that life, right? But this person was not at all in contact with the health sector or the aging sector or biotechnology sector. That all those industries were unknown to him. So he didn't pay attention to it. He didn't even sit in front of the mirror and say, I should do something about my health. Until, and this is the crucial moment, until he realizes that he's not feeling good. See, when aging starts to kick in, we all start questioning, oh, this is what my dad had. Oh, this is what my grandfather died of. And we start being concerned about what could go wrong. And that day, boom, we wake up. That's the wake-up call. And that's what happened to him. He became aware that there was something that needed to be done right now because he started having cardiovascular issues. I'm not going to go into his medical story because that would be very unprofessional of me, but I do tell you this in case it rings a bell, no? If it rings a bell, que es familiar, que te suena, if it rings a bell. And once he starts becoming aware of this, he looks for a clinic to go to do all the prevention programs. He wants to stay young. He wants to stay strong. He wants to stay healthy. Haha. What happens now is that he is in Mexico and he says, where do I go? So, as smart and brilliant as he is, he decides to go to the United States because he knows that that's the country where they do have a lot of prevention clinics, anti-aging clinics, and starts to get some information. I'm going to make a long story short. The end of the story is that he became an investor in clinics, in biotechnology, in artificial intelligence for prevention, and all the things that you can imagine that are in the field of anti-aging and prevention. So, see, the thing is that during our conversation the other day, what we were talking about was, it's interesting how difficult it is to be convinced about the need to do this. See, once you start, once your routines are completely health aware, you don't step back from that. You just love it and understand it. And we were really thinking, you know, one of the things the world really needs is that click, that bringing you to that feeling of, wow, this is awesome. I want to do this every day of my life. This is good for me. I feel amazing. I feel better than ever. Better than ever. And this, you know, I saw him and he walked in. We hadn't seen each other for 2 years. He walked in the restaurant and I say, man, you look good. And he really did. He looked young, healthy. And this is why we had this conversation. So there's different levels of self-care. But you don't need to beat yourself up. No te tienes que maltratar. No, don't beat yourself up about it. But do ask yourself this question. In what ways do I take care of myself? And remember that self-care is mental, emotional, and physical. So you need to find the tools that work for you in this area. What I want to do today is present to you what's out there so that you can have, and that's why I said this is food for thought, that this is information that you can take with you and then decide, where do I want to start? Or maybe you've already started and you want to take it to the next level. Just know what's out there and make your own decisions. But be the CEO of your health because you are. You are the owner of your health and you're the only one that can make the big difference. So if you want to feel good, you want that energy, here are some ideas of things that could be done. So we were talking about the January gym rush. And see, this is one thing that now that you understand that if I tell myself that I'm not enough, I'm probably going to the gym thinking that I have to lose weight so that I look good in front of other people. Now, see, this is the paradigm shift. This is no longer about looking good in front of others. This is about your health. And this is what we're going to talk about. Let's take a little break. There was a lot of information here. And stay with us. It's going to be even more interesting the second half. Come on, let's listen to the break. Okay, phenomenal. Welcome back, you guys. This is the Hour to Empower. We're here to help you live your best version and your best life every day. My name is Jessica Fernandez-Cruz. I'm your life and executive coach. If you're liking this show and you want to make a difference in your life this year, you want to make some changes, is there anything that you feel you're a little stuck with? Are you stressed? See, that's important. If you're feeling stressed, there's no need to feel stressed. There's something that you're not seeing that I can help you to see. and we can make some changes together. Are you taking care of yourself? Would you like to? Is it time to start? Contact me. We can work on this together. Only 6 sessions, and I can assure you your life's going to change. You'll find me on Instagram, @energia, salud y vida. And you can also look me up on my website, yfernandezcruz.com, yfernandezcruz.com. We can do some coaching together. I am sure that if you feel stuck today, this is not how you want to continue your year. So feel free to reach out. If you like this show, you want to follow us on Facebook, find us on Facebook, The Hour to Empower. Like our page, The Hour to Empower. Give us your feedback. I love to hear from you. So please, please, please tell me, what is it that you're looking for? What's keeping you stuck that we can talk about on this show? I can bring someone, an expert in that area, and we can have a great conversation for you. Because this show, let me tell you, is for you. So the more you share, the more you will enjoy it. So let's go back to our subject. Self-care. How are we going to take care of ourselves? I was telling you the story of my friend Sergio and how he became in love with taking care of his health, coming from a background of a person who had no idea about health, had never even worried about it. And he was more about enjoying life more than anything else. See, the thing is, don't get things wrong. Staying healthy, making healthy choices is not going to ruin your happiness. You will love it so much that you will become hooked to that too. So just give yourself the space to try. Here's an idea, right? So don't try to do everything from day one. You don't need to be an athlete after that first day at the gym. No, that's not gonna motivate you to stay connected to it. It'll encourage you to go the first day, but after that, it'll be too demanding. See, you want to create routines that you can use for the rest of your life. The shift in paradigm, which I was explaining just before the break, is before, we used to go to the gym to stay pretty. We wanted to stay skinny and look fit and sexy, and that's why we went to the gym. But today, things have changed. And this is why this industry is so interesting. The fitness industry has changed because it has incorporated a concept that just came out at the end of 2019. And it's called Exercise is Medicine, EIM. It's a global health initiative that is focused on encouraging primary care physicians, los médicos de atención primaria, primary care physicians, so the doctor that everybody goes to, and other healthcare providers to include physical activity. And for that, they want to include physical activity assessments, ¿no? Como unas especies de pruebas de actividad física que se asocian a las recomendaciones, ¿no? A los tratamientos. So what they do is they will do physical activity assessments and treatment recommendations that have to do with physical activity. This is how exercise is medicine. And what they want is this to be part of every patient visit. And then once they do that, they refer the patient, ¿no? Le van a mandar al paciente to exercise professionals. So you go to the doctor does a physical assessment, and based on that, he'll say, okay, you need to find a professional, a trainer, a coach to keep going from here. This is groundbreaking. This is like a total shift in the way we know exercise. It's no longer the pretty girl going to like Jane Fonda or all the famous people that we know that had their TV shows. The only name that comes up, Cindy Crawford also had one where they were exercising in their tights, right? But that's not it anymore. It's not about that. And the trend in fitness is interesting because now more and more you will find boutique gyms, right? This is what the trend is today. And in these boutique gyms, what they do is they also provide you with a personalized nutrition plan according to your physical exercise. Now, this is interesting. So now we don't go to the gym and hit the, Zumba class and that's it. No. Before we do that, we do an assessment of what we eat. And then we make sure that matches the amount of exercise that we do. But there's one step further to that. Now we don't only just worry about what we eat. And I don't want to use the word worry. We don't only make it work, what we eat, amount of exercise, but we also take care of our mind. Yes, you guys, this is not new. You guys know how yoga is the trend, and it's been the trend already for a long time. People more and more are trying to find ways to feel good. They're stressed out. They need a space where they can relax their minds, where they can connect with something that'll give them some peace. So you also have that trend of gyms and fitness boutique fitness programs that are focused on taking you away from technology. The place where you just go in, you leave your phone at the entrance, and all you do is just disconnect, relax, and focus on your exercise and your mind. But then on the contrary, at the same time, another trend in fitness is monitoring everything. So you will have seen, if you go to gym regularly, you will have seen that more and more there's these screens where everybody's vitals are on the screen, right? So we can see what your blood pressure is, and then you can compare that to that of your friend who you're with. And there's so much data that is being collected in gyms. It's amazing. So there's all this new ways of taking care of ourselves that have started. There's a very cool one that I really like, and I'm hoping that they will sell that soon in Spain, which is a thing called Mirror. A mirror that you buy and you put it in a room or in your living room. It's actually just a mirror when it's not on. And it's very nice, very slick, very modern. And so you put it on the wall. And when you turn it on, the mirror has your trainer right there. And you look at your trainer and you imitate everything like you're in a class. And so you have your trainer right there in your living room in that mirror. And not only that, you're also part of a community. So if you want, you can train with other people as if you're in a real class. And then you connect your wearables so that information goes to the cloud, and then it shows up in that screen. So we're at home doing exercise as if we were in a class at the gym. I think this is a great concept. Then there's also a bike, which is called Platoon. I don't remember the name of the bike. But anyway, you buy the bike, and then when you switch it on, it's a bike. It's one of those home bikes. And you put it, again, you can put that in that same room where you have the mirror. Now you can make your own full gym at home. You have the mirror with your trainer, and then you have the bike for the cycling program. And the same thing happens. You have that whole program with your trainer and everything. You're like in a class, but at home. And those are the trends right now in the fitness world that are interesting. Then there's also apps. There's a lot of apps going on. Apps for in-home training. As I was saying, this is a trend now, so there's a lot of that. And then there's, I really like this idea. So running is also a trend, and you guys must know that already. But then, the difficult thing with running is finding the time to run with someone, because we don't all have the same timetables, and it's difficult that we can coincide. But running alone is sometimes hard and not as fun. So there's an app that's, I think it's Running Zombies. And what it does is you're part of a game, really. And that's a way of training you and your running, but at the same time having fun with it. So it's as if the zombies are following us, and it's going to tell you, it knows exactly where you're running, and it tells you to where you need to run as fast as you can so that you are not caught by one of the zombies. So it's like having that that fun energy when you go for a run. And these are trends that are making us enjoy exercise, right? So we go out, we do our exercise, and we don't even notice that we did because we just played a game. It's in the past, every magazine you opened gave you the inside scoop on how to shed pounds and get a body like your favorite celebrities. That was it. It was really about that. So any of those magazines would talk about how you're going to look. But 2020 is changing already. People will start working out more for wellness and less so for chiseled abs. This is according to an expert in this field. Instead of just being seen as a way to lose weight, fitness will become more about what it does for your mind and body. See, and this is where I want you to connect with that. If you can see that exercise and taking care of your emotional management is a way of being happier, healthier, more energetic, more full of life, that's where you understand that this routine is not a boring thing to do. It's a great thing to do for you. So going back to what I was proposing to you. See, the thing with this is, since this is not a change that you make for 1 month, but it's a lifetime change, you need to go baby steps. Take baby steps. Pasitos de bebé. Baby steps, pasitos pequeñitos, pasitos con los que te vayas enganchando. Por ejemplo, if you like to go for a walk, do that. You don't need to go crazy and go to the gym from day one. But if going for a walk is not difficult for you, do one thing. Every day after lunch, I go for a 20-minute walk. Every day after dinner, I go for a 20-minute walk. And that's how you engage with the idea of taking care of yourself, because you set the time aside, que pones el tiempo a un lado, que ese tiempo se quede bloqueado para ti, for self-care. That time is for you. You're going to take care of your self-care. This is where your commitment with feeling good, with your mind and body completely there, starts. It's understanding that there's a time for that and that nothing is more important than that. See, the only thing that is more important than that is that you're sick and you're in the hospital. But if you're not sick and you're not in the hospital, then go get those sneakers and go for a walk. See, there's something funny because once you learn that exercise is fantastic. See, Dr. Hyman, who's one of the most famous physicians in the world, who focuses a lot on nutrition and exercise as the key to health and longevity. He says, if there was only one pill that you could give a patient, nothing else, only one pill, he said, it would be exercise. Exercise is everything. And exercise doesn't have to be athlete level exercise. So let me tell you a story. When I was working in the biotechnology industry, I was a lot in the United States. And I was I think it was like 4 or 5 years ago in West Palm Beach in Florida. This beautiful West Palm Beach is where Donald Trump has his house and he goes golfing there in Mar-a-Lago. This great house. I went there actually for a conference at that house before he was a president. And it was so funny because then later on he became president. And I was like, wow, I was at the president's home. But at that time, when he was not there, he would rent out the house to companies to do conferences. So this house is amazing. The house is like all golden and the bathrooms look like you're in Italy, literally. And it has this beautiful pool that gives you the impression of being right on a lake. And if you cross the street, you're at the ocean. So it's amazing. It really is beautiful. You have to cross a bridge, and then you get this feeling that you're getting into this beautiful area where very exclusive houses, and that's where Mar-a-Lago is. So I was there for a conference, and somebody was going to give a talk about longevity, about biotechnology. And this was a presentation that I prepared for this person. So I knew very well what he was going to talk about. And the night before, he calls me up at, I think it was like 10:30, and he says, I can't go. You're going to have to do the presentation for me. And I'm like, what? Me? Why am I going to have to do this? Oh, no, I'm not ready. And, these insecurities pop in, and the only thing that was worrying me, because I knew I could do the presentation, I just needed an hour to sit down and go over the slides and make sure that I was learning them. Many of you who are listening are executives. I'm sure you've seen yourself in this same situation, right? Te has visto en la misma situación. And then I'm like, okay, I'm good with the slides. I know exactly what each slide is about. What worried me was like, what if they start asking very difficult questions and I'm not able to respond, and then I'm going to look stupid because I don't know every single thing, and the guy that was going to do the presentation, he did know with every single thing. See, at that time, if I could go back and talk to myself, one thing I learned later is that the best way to connect with an audience is through vulnerability. Make yourself vulnerable and tell them, guys, I'm here. I know exactly what I'm going to say, but if the questions get too difficult, I'm not going to know. And it's okay. It's okay not to know sometimes. And actually, what I've learned too is that when you show yourself vulnerable, you open the door for the other person to be themselves, because then they're like, oh, okay, we're not in the perfect mode. We can be ourselves. And the magic happens right there. So anyway, at that time, I didn't know this. So I was so stressed out that I hardly slept. And I don't know about you, but not sleeping for me is one of the things that I hate the most. Because when I don't sleep, I get very grumpy. Me pongo como de mal humor. And I'm like not happy, and I can feel already my heart rate goes up. I even feel it in my body. My stomach's not feeling great. You know that the gut is nowadays one of the most important things to understand in a person for their emotional well-being. And you will know sometimes when your stomach hurts, then you're not in a good mood, right? So that's why the microbiome is important to protect, and we need to make sure that we eat the right things and that we take the probiotics that are good for our gut. So at that time, I was not doing any of that, even though my talk was about all that stuff, but I wasn't for myself, which is very typical, right? And then I was grumpy and tired, and then the thing is that I have always, at that time, I knew that the way to tackle the stress of this work was through exercise. So I was pretty good with maintaining an exercise routine on a daily basis because it kept my head clear. And what I learned, and this is what I want to share with you, is that sometimes we go to what we know. If you were tired, what's the first thing you do? You drink coffee, right? And maybe because you're very tired, you drink 2 or 3 coffees. But the truth is, for me, the best thing to wake up is exercise and breath work, breathing. This is called the holotropic breath work. And I want to invite you to have a look at that. The holotropic breath work is breathing quickly so that the oxygen goes to your mind. It creates a alteration of consciousness. And through that, you get so much energy that it's actually much better than anything. Better than coffee, better than Coca-Cola or whatever it is that you take to stay awake. And I hope it's not the bad drugs. But even if it were the bad drugs, I'd still say go for the holotropic breathwork, and you tell me later if that doesn't give you a great high. You haven't taken anything. Just through breathing, you're able to connect with that energy in your body, even when you haven't slept well. So give it a chance. Try it out. Exercise is really the best for everything. Everything. There's not one thing that exercise won't do for you. What's the difficult thing here? Figure out what's the best exercise for you. You don't need to do what your neighbor is doing. Maybe you need to do something more dancing related, or maybe you're better with weights, or maybe you're much better with boxing. There's so much out there. Try things until you find that thing that you actually like, and then be loyal to it. And enjoy it. most importantly, and this is the message I want to give you, enjoy whatever it is that you choose to do because it's for the rest of your life. And the same applies to food, the same applies to sleeping patterns. So what are the things to keep in mind? Okay, I don't want to confuse you, but I do want to give you some hints on what's going on. Okay, exercise, we've talked about that, is one of the most important things that you can do for your health. So if you're not doing any exercise, put that in your calendar for 2020. Start tomorrow or even start today. Go for a walk right now once this show is finished and begin to connect with your self-care and self-love because you matter and you are enough. So walking is an option. It's simple. You can do it anywhere. There's no excuse. You just need to make sure that you put those 20 minutes in your calendar and you go out every day for a walk. Your diet. Okay, your nutrition. Don't go on short-term diets. Change your nutrition for the rest of your life. What can you do that you're going to be completely loyal to? Sleep. Ha ha. So this is one that I find all business people are sleep deprived. Sleep deprived. ¿No? Que tienen, ¿cómo se dice en español? No lo sé. Deprived, deprivencia del sueño, no se dice así. El caso es que no duermes suficiente. They're sleep deprived. They have less sleep than what they should. 7 hours a night, guys. 7 hours a night. There's no question about that. You have to sleep 7 hours a night. And if you're not sleeping 7 hours a night, you need to figure out the way of making that happen. Say no. Say no. If there's things that are happening in your life that you feel that dominate you, No. You are the owner of your life. So you dominate your life and you decide what you can or cannot do. You have to start saying no. If you're one of the people pleasers, the yes, oh, of course, I'll do that for you. You're putting on yourself things that are not allowing you to take care of yourself. This is one of the most difficult decisions that a person makes, but when you start making that decision, everything comes to place. Your relationship with others, your relationship with yourself. So please start saying no. Water, hydration. You need to drink at least 2 liters of water a day. And for that, I suggest every hour drink a glass of water. Every hour, drink a glass of water. If we don't drink, we dehydrate. When we dehydrate, we have hallucinations, headaches. We don't feel good. So remember to drink. Just as simple as that. A glass of water every hour. Breathe. Breathe. That's the other one. We've talked about this a lot. Take a deep breath in. Did you see how I slowed down so quickly? This is something you need to do at that hour when you drink a glass of water and take 2 or 3 deep breaths. And then finally, your personal relations. Who are you having good relationships with? Try to surround yourself with the right people. If you have a toxic environment, figure out a way of getting out of there and starting to have positive and more positive, not in the simple way, but people who see life as something that we fight for, that we go for, that we, not that complainer mode that is constantly taking away our energy. We want people who bring us energy. And finally, I want to introduce you to a new concept that you've probably heard of or not. That's called biohacking. Biohacking. So, see, before we talked about how we look, but now we talk about how we feel. And this is even too old already, because today we have an even further concept that's called biohacking. It's the do-it-yourself biology. It's what they call the garage technology of Silicon Valley in biology. I can't go on into this because, oh my God, the show is up. I'll talk about biohacking in another show. Look it up and give me your feedback. Tell me what you think about it. There's so much in this field. I just wanted to give you the first introduction. I made it too long and I missed the biohacking part. But we'll talk about it in another show. You guys have a wonderful day. And remember, take care of your health first. You matter. You are enough. You are beautiful. And for this, because we're talking about aging, let's finish with a great song. Forever Young, Alphaville. Can you imagine when this race is won? Turn the faces into the sun. Praising our leaders, we're getting in tune. The music's played by the madman. Forever young, I want to be forever young. Do you really want to live forever? Forever and ever? Have a great day, you guys. I love you. Thank you for listening. Bye-bye. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.